Hi everyone, so this is my first live video, so I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous. You'll have to bear with me. The reason for me doing a live video today is it is the 50th anniversary of Earth Day, so that's exciting. I recently became involved with Keep Brownwood Beautiful. It's a local nonprofit organization here. Wonderful group of people. They are focused on reusing and recycling. They maintain a lot of the gardens around Brownwood. They host a lot of cleanup events around the town. So there's a really cool program. For more information, you can go to their website. It's Keep Brownwood Beautiful. Always looking for new volunteers, so it's a great way to get involved. So today they were going to host an Earth Day event, and so I had personally planned on having a booth and doing a speech and possibly doing a food presentation, and so I'm not getting to do that today, so I am gonna do it live online, so we'll see how this goes. Alright, so I will be doing a cooking presentation a little bit later. It's the tofu scramble. I know I've talked about it a couple times in different posts and things, so I'll be going over that. It's a really good alternative to scrambled eggs, so I'll be showing that as well. So just a little bit about me. I am an animal rights activist, aka vegan activist. You probably know that just from being around my Facebook page, but if you didn't know that, now you know. So there are three main reasons why people generally go vegan or adopt a plant-based diet. Ethical reasons, so for animals, to protect the animals and that sort of thing. So there's also a lot of health benefits to adopting a plant-based diet, and then of course environmental reasons. So all are valid and amazing reasons to make the change in your life. And so if you have questions or need anything, definitely reach out to me. It's my passion. I love helping people transition and find what works for them. So today, as a celebration of Earth Day, I am focusing on the environmental aspect of a vegan lifestyle. So I have these pamphlets. I had planned on giving them out today and not able to do that. So it's backward for you probably, but it's called Fight Climate Change with Diet Change. So I'll be reading a little bit from that. I will post, I will post a link to the sources that are used in the pamphlet a little bit later, and so that you can see exactly where the information comes from. If you do later on want a copy, I have plenty. I can leave them on my porch for you to pick up. I can mail them to you, or I can also drop it off to you if you're local here in Brownwood or Early area. So we'll go back a little bit over that a little bit later. So the information in here, first thing it talks about is the amount of resources we use. So there are 9 billion land animals bred and slaughtered in the U.S. annually. That's just in the U.S. That's more people than are in the entire planet. So raising all these animals produces over 200 pounds of meat per person in the U.S., but there's also a lot of problems that come along with that. So growing food for animals instead of people. When we think about farming or growing crops, we think about food for people. But however, 75% of all agricultural land around the world is used for livestock production. 75% of our land goes towards that. So imagine someone offering you an investment opportunity. You invest $100 and you get about half of that back. Not a great deal. So that's exactly what we do with our food system. For every 100 grams of protein that we put into feeding animals, we only get about 40 grams of protein back from chicken, about 10 grams of protein back from pork, and about 5 grams of protein back from beef. So that's about half what we put in. So that's a colossal waste of resources. In fact, if we cut global meat consumption in half and used all of that farmland to just grow fruits and vegetables for people directly, instead of growing corn and soy for animals, we'd actually be able to feed every single person on the planet plus an extra 2 billion people. So we just need to eat more efficiently, lower on the food chain. So animal agriculture is also linked to the leading cause of deforestation. It's linked to about 65% of deforestation in the Brazilian Amazon. So we need our trees, people. So it also talks about water. Water is a major resource that is that we could be better, definitely. So when we think about ways to save water, we usually think about taking shorter showers, turning off the water when we brush our teeth, not watering our lawns. So that's kind of things that we think about when we talk about water. So, but the single best way to save water is actually through our food choices, not through direct water use. So in California, where much of our food is grown, consumers use only about 4% of water, while the meat and dairy industry use about 45% of water. So you might think, why is that? Well, the animals themselves, the feed crops fed to the animals, and then the slaughter process also requires a tremendous amount of water. So it's just a lot of waste. The statistic given here is, it says that ordering a vegetable burger instead of a hamburger even one time can save as much water as not showering for a whole month. So it's pretty crazy. So a lot of things that questions I get is, I'm only one person, how can I really make a difference? Well, statistics in here says that per year, switching to a vegan diet will save 219,000 gallons of water, prevents the release of about 1,533 pounds of CO2, and spares the suffering of about 35 animals. That's each person. So yes, you can make a huge difference. One thing that we learned about growing up was supply and demand. It works. You buy it, they're going to produce it. If you don't buy it, they're going to stop producing it. That's just how supply and demand works. So we, unfortunately at this time, cannot directly affect the national energy policy, but we can directly affect the food industry by what we buy. So food industry is one of the largest contributors to climate change, deforestation, water usage, and air and water pollution. By eating less meat, even just a few times per week, you're making the food system more sustainable and decreasing the number of animals raised on factory farms. So that gets to the food portion. What do I eat? I get asked all the time, oh, you just eat salads all the time. No, I actually really don't. I don't like salad personally. I mean, I will eat salad, but that's not my thing. So the pamphlet here actually does go into a little bit of detail on foods that you can eat, but there's a ton of resources online. I mean, it is amazing how many resources are online for recipes and tips and tricks and things like that. So definitely, if you have more questions about that, I can direct you to quite a few things. I'll actually be talking about a few here in just a moment. So also, eating out is a huge question here in Brownwood. Everyone's like, well, there's no way to eat out. I've actually not had a problem at all ever eating out at a restaurant in Brownwood. Most people are most places have options already. If they don't, a lot of them are willing to work with you. So I've never had a problem with Brownwood restaurants at all eating a vegan diet. So some options are Italian, Thai, Middle Eastern, Indian, Mexican, Chinese. Pretty much any restaurant you go to will have options for you. All right, so taking a stand. So by eating vegan and not consuming meat, dairy, and eggs, you can oppose speciesism and the human rights violations of animal agriculture. So while it can sound intimidating, if you experiment with some different foods and things like that, you can actually find a lot of things that are really tasty. And so that's my goal, is to help people to do that. Like I said, I'll be doing a food presentation here in a moment. That might get a little tricky because I've never done one live online, so we'll see how that goes. But there's also a ton of doctors, nutritionists, dietitians that support a vegan diet, plant-based diet. So if you want more information, you can always go online. So as I was talking about with the pamphlet, I actually got these from Vegan Outreach. It's a website. They actually have a program going right now. It's called 10 Weeks to Vegan. It's free, completely free. They send weekly emails to you. There are a ton of recipes, support, tips, tricks. There's actually a registered dietitian that's available to assist. So I will be posting that link below as well. I also have a local vegan page. It's just called Brownwood Vegans. It's on Facebook. You do not have to be vegan at all to join, or even vegetarian. It is just a resource locally. When I do find new products around town, I try to post them on there and say where I got them. So, like I said, and you can always message me directly. So some of the products that I'll be using today, the Gardein sausage, you can get that at Walmart. It is amazing. So I'll be using that today. And I found this at Honeybee. So it is the cheddar shreds. It tastes really good. My dad is he used to be, not anymore, but used to be a really big cheese eater, and he actually likes this a lot. So I prefer to use fresh veggies, but a lot of times with peppers and onions, I'll go ahead and use frozen, just because it's really simple and you don't have to cut them up every time. So I like that. Now the two main things that I'll be using today is obviously tofu. So tofu for me was kind of hard at first. Actually, besides eating at a restaurant, never really touched tofu for the first couple years that I was vegan, just because I had no idea what to do with it. And so, but it is a really awesome thing to just put into your diet. It can be used in every way possible. So this one I'll be using today is this one, if you can see it. But it does not need to be pressed. That's the main thing with tofu that really is hard. It's just the pressing of it. So this one I'll be using today. It does not require pressing. If you do want a tofu press on Amazon, they're like $20 and totally worth it. I'll also be using nutritional yeast. So nutritional yeast is a really cool thing for a lot of recipes. It's full of protein, full of fiber, B vitamins. It is really, really good. This is the one I got at Walmart. You can get it at Honeybee. You can also get it at United as well. So, but I'll be using this today. It can be used in a lot of other recipes too. So like cheese recipes, I make nacho cheese with it. So yeah. So I hope I didn't forget anything on the talking portion, but I'm gonna start with the cooking portion now. So bear with me just a moment to get everything kind of over in the kitchen. So give me one moment. Go ahead and turn it around. So that's why I keep talking. So it's a really easy recipe, honestly. It does not take a lot of time. The main thing that you have to focus on is, or not really focus on, is just think about how you like your eggs, and then you'll cook the tofu kind of to that same texture. So that just takes a little bit of finding it out for yourself, because everyone likes their eggs differently. So obviously they're gonna like their tofu scramble differently. So Alright, so I'll turn it around now. I'm using just a one pan, kind of big. So what I usually do, I use olive oil. You do not have to. I hope that you can still hear me. But I just use a tiny bit for the vegetable portion. I could have prepared this better, I'm sorry. Okay, so let me turn this around for a second. Like I said, it's my first live video. I've never done a cooking demonstration online before, so this might get tricky. Alright, so give me just one moment. I'm going to put the sausage in here. I use usually 3 to 4. You don't have to. Today I'm going to use 3. So I usually just cook those first. And I did wash my hands before I started the video, so just letting you know. So I just cook these down a little bit just to get them good and soft. I cook them in the same pan so that I don't have to do a lot of dishes. But if that doesn't work for you, if you want to cook them separately, or if you don't want sausage in it, or if you don't like peppers and onions, you can modify this. You can modify it. You can add anything that you would normally add to your scrambled eggs, or just make it by itself. You don't have to add anything. So this is the way I make it because I like it like this. So. Alright, so thank you guys for watching, by the way. I haven't said hi to anybody, so I apologize. But thank you so much for checking in today. And like I said, if you have questions or if you're even just a little bit curious, you can ask me. I'm not going to pressure you. I'm not going to expect you to go overnight to this entire different lifestyle. I understand you have families, you have other things, you have probably a full kitchen right now. So just reach out to me if you have questions. Don't feel obligated to that I'm going to be like on your back all the time just because for whatever. It's just, I love helping people. I love talking about it. So anyway, if you have questions, just let me know. Okay, so I just flipped the sausage. I don't know what works best for you guys, for looking at the food or just looking for me talking. I'm going to turn it around just for a moment so you can see. Thank you, Maura. By the way, I have my cab right here. Oh, you can't see it. Shout out to Spirit of Texas Winery. If you haven't tried their wine, you should. Okay, sorry. I keep flipping the camera and I do apologize. So, this is what I'm doing right now. So these are the peppers and then the sausage. So the sausage cooks just like any other sausage that you would cook. So it's she says I muted it. Let me see. Can you not hear me anymore? Okay, she said I muted it, but I don't know how to unmute it. Okay, okay, let me know if you can hear me. Alright, got someone said they can hear me, so that's good. Okay, so I don't know if you missed, but the sausage cooks just like any other sausage, so it's pretty easy. It tastes really similar to most people that have tried it, so let me see. I'm going to have to open this tofu, so this might take a few minutes. One-handed, it's not very... I'll set the camera down for a second. Okay. So like I said, this tofu does not require you to press it. Most tofus that you'll buy in the store do require pressing. So it's not hard to press. If you don't have a press at home, that's fine. There are a ton of other ways to press tofu without an actual tofu press. If it's something that you're going to be using pretty often, I definitely recommend a press just because it makes it so much easier on you and really gets the water out so that you can, that the tofu can soak up the flavor. So like I said, tofu was really intimidating for me at first, so I get it if it's not something that you want to try, but if it is, definitely reach out. I can help with that. Alright, so I'm just cutting up the sausage into pieces so that it can mix in. So I will turn my burner down a little bit. I will show you what I'm doing here in just a second. So, okay, so let me turn this around, I'll show you. Okay, so I've just mixed up the sausage and the peppers, pretty much all situated now. So the tofu just goes directly in, and it looks kind of gross, so I understand that. But this is a really good option. That way you can kind of get the same texture as eggs. So I use a what is this, like bean press or a potato press? I don't know what this is, but I use that and I just mix it into the peppers and the sausage. Alright. So one thing you'll have to... Oops, I dropped that. One thing you'll have to bear with me is I do not measure when I cook. So if you want specific measurements, there are a ton of actual recipes out there that can help you. But I never measure anything when I cook. So I'm going to turn this around again just to show you. I use a lot of nutritional yeast just because I really love it. You don't have to, or you can use more than I do. Whatever you think. So, alright, so I just cover kind of everything with, like I said, a bunch of nutritional yeast. If I were to measure this out, it probably would be maybe like half a cup. I don't know. But anyway, then you just stir it in. Oh, can't forget salt and pepper. So basically the idea is just to season it exactly how you would your eggs. How you would do your eggs is how you would do this. And you'll cook it down to whatever texture that you like. And I'm sorry if I'm shaking the phone. So I just use nutritional yeast and salt and pepper. You can use turmeric. You can use, basically, like I said, anything else that you would use on your eggs. So it's already starting to look like scrambled eggs. And like I said, you'll just cook it down to whatever texture you like. So some people like it more dry, some people like it kind of runny, so that's completely up to you. There's no wrong way to do it. My kiddo just walked in, getting a snack. So anyway, he is also vegan. He has been vegan for over 2 years, his choice. He made the decision to go vegan. So super proud of him. He loves a lot of the food that I eat, that I make. So he loves to eat out. He loves food as well. So like mother, like son. All right. So really, that's all there is to making this. Like I said, you just cook it down to whatever texture it is that you like. I'm going to show you once more here. Alright, so this is the vegan scramble. For you that are that have come in a little bit late, I've used, I'll show you what I used. I used this tofu. I used the Gardein breakfast sausages. I used frozen peppers and onions. You're welcome to use fresh. And then nutritional yeast. So nutritional yeast makes all the difference. It is full of vitamins and protein and fiber, and so really good. Alright, so I like my, try this around again, sorry. I like my eggs a little bit more dry, so it takes me a little bit longer to cook the tofu scramble because I like to get a lot of the water back out. If you use other types of tofu and you do use a press, you don't always have to cook it as long. So there are, like I said, there's a ton of different types of tofu that you can use. I just like this one because it's the easiest for me. Alright, so I'll also be adding the cheddar shreds after I get done. I use the BioLife. It actually tastes a lot like regular cheese, and that is tried and tested from a very big cheese eater. My dad used to eat cheese a lot. They have since also gone vegan. My sister has now gone vegan. So it's a whole family thing now. Another huge thing that happened today is my sister has been fostering a little boy for over 2 years. She's had him since he was 3 months old, and today she got permanent custody. So I am so excited. I kind of want to cry how excited I am for that. So I will be posting pictures of him here in a little while, now that we can do that. Anyway, so I will post a picture of the tofu scramble when I'm done. I think I posted pictures before of it, but I'll post it again. Again, I will be posting the link to the the sources that were used in the pamphlet that I read. I will be posting a link to the 10 weeks to vegan through Vegan Outreach. And then if you have questions or you just want to know anything else at all, definitely just reach out to me. So, like I said, I am an animal rights activist, vegan activist. There is a local vegan page for resources. There are a ton of documentaries. There are articles. There are just a ton of resources out there that help in the transition to a plant-based lifestyle. So, anyway, I'm glad I did this. I was really nervous, but I plan to keep doing them. I do like doing the cooking demonstrations. Hopefully next time I'll have a little bit more organized and a little bit where I don't go back and forth on the camera so much. So anyway, it's been great today. I do love you all. That's my main thing, is sending love to the world and to everything in it. So I love you guys, and I hope that you have an amazing rest of your day.